Yoo-hoo! It's the time for package from China. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you tuning in, because in this video we are going to take a close look at a very cool piece of technology. Because it's time for one of my favorite brands that you can pick up from China. This is Powkiddy. Yep, Powkiddy. I've reviewed so many of these freaking devices, and I must say sometimes they really surprise me. Okay, so here on the box it's kind of interesting. You can see the Max and the Max II, because this is the Powkiddy Max II, and it also comes in different colors. And what I understand of making this video, they even released some new colors. But the only thing what I have with Powkiddy is like I cannot really figure out if they are releasing or developing so many different handhelds, or are they just developing handhelds and slapping labels. Because this device, in my opinion, is quite nice. I got myself the white edition. I already mentioned like you got different colors like the previous model, and they did some minor improvements, not with the hardware, because nowadays we're going to get a lot of similarities when it comes to handhelds. But this one I was very positive when I was testing it, simply because of the curves and the way how you hold it. So Powkiddy, it's a hit or miss with these devices, because sometimes you're going to get an amazing piece of hardware and sometimes you're going to get like really crappy stuff. And yeah, for the people who have seen my videos here, I've reviewed a lot of Powkiddy products, and sometimes it's like surprisingly good and sometimes it's freaking awful. It comes with the Type-C cable, a very long, nice one, and of course the toilet paper manual, because this makes no sense whatsoever. So when it comes to these handhelds, they are mostly like, most of the time they are like ready to set up. And I mean with this, it comes with some firmware installed, so you only need to add your files and play some games. So when it comes to the Powkiddy handhelds, I must say like they always surprise me sometimes with some of these devices. So first of all, this new Max II edition was quite a surprise that it came on the market. To be honest, I was thinking, why didn't you do that the first time? Because yeah, there's like a hit or miss. They like release handhelds. I'm having this idea that they watch like the videos, they look at the feedback of the people and just try to like give it a minor upgrade. And with minor upgrade, it's like purely cosmetic, because they didn't do a lot when it comes to the inside. You see the battery comes with a 4200 mAh battery, and yeah, the RGB10 Max II does have some minor upgrades when it comes to the buttons. So to begin with, let's check the shoulder buttons, because here we're going to get some minor differences. What I do like about it, we're going to get this clickies button, and we're going to get more like a membrane edition over here that has quite a short travel, but when you're holding it, it is quite nice. It's not the best shoulder buttons I have seen before because of the size and my big hands, but if you have like smaller hands, they can be very comfortable. So we're here going to get a lot of options when it comes to the top. They're going to get a volume control, then we're going to get two Type-C, we're having a headphone jack out, we even have the option to turn the Wi-Fi on and off, we have an on and off switch and the reset button, if I'm saying it correctly. So then we're going to get at the bottom, we're going to get the speakers over here, and yeah, that's it. Like there is nothing a lot to see over here at the side. And of course at the front we're going to get the D-pad. I'm very glad they made the choice to put it over here, because I'm mostly using the D-pad. The D-pad itself feels very comfortable. It's got a very nice touch to it. And of course we're going to get the Nintendo Switch clickies joystick. So they improved a lot over the years. We're going to get A, B, X, Y. Then we're going to get some extra buttons over here. Select and start. So that is, if you're looking at that, like the layout and everything, it is not bad at all. It's very nice. But when you're looking at the bottom, they completely messed it up, if you ask me. Why is that? Because you can see there is an option for two speakers, but you're only going to get one of them. And when you're listening to the audio quality, you can hear like it struggles with the one speaker. I didn't even put it on 100% volume. If I just added the second one, you're going to get like the great stereo sound, and it would be like in such a better experience. Okay, so my version comes with Emulator, but take consideration there are a lot of different versions out there nowadays. Like when you're looking at my good friend, the Retro Game Core channel, he made a lot of updates about certain handhelds, like how you need to upgrade them, and also like what kind of software versions are out there, because we can do a lot of tweaking, modifying if you want to. But let's take a close look at the device itself out of the box with the Emulator side. Another thing they change out is of course the panels that we're going to get inside of these handhelds. The prices are going up, but also the quality goes up, and one of the great ways to show you is of course the display itself. The display is a beautiful display, especially when you're holding it in front of the camera. You can see how colorful it is, and that is something that Powkiddy does a great job with. Even with the cheaper handhelds, we have seen it before that we're going to get a lot of, like say, better panels. Of course, we're going to get here the indication of the battery. If you're pressing the start with Emulator, we can do a lot of tinkering if you want to like have some problems with some of these things or with the games of the emulators. So when it comes to supportive, like when you're looking at the old stuff, the 8-bit, 16-bit, it runs pretty damn good. Only when you're going to get into, let's say, the second Dreamcast and the higher end stuff, there we're going to get some limitations, but in general, the rock chip that is inside this machine is absolutely not bad at all. And what I find really cool with these handhelds nowadays, we even have like Sinclair ZX Spectrum if you're like into the stuff like that. Of course, PlayStation Portable and PlayStation 1 are represented, but PlayStation 1 is running just fine, but Sony PlayStation Portable is still like a device that is very, like, really demanding. And we still need a little bit of more juice if you want to run every single game and even on higher resolutions. It's time for the wicked nerdy time. So this is the Powkiddy, the RGB10 Max II. And yep, so it comes with the rock chip 3326. There's a quad-core Cortex A35 with a GPU that is a Mali G31 MP2. So it has a 5-inch IPS display. Battery is around 4200 mAh, or better said, it is 4200 mAh, but it has around a playtime around 6 hours. Yeah. Okay guys, so the first game I wanted to try out is PlayStation 1 with Bloody Roar 2. And the reason why is very simple, because this is a quite demanding game. And another thing I like, even despite they are using like widescreen displays, mostly like because there's like the common thing now, but you can see like the emulator push it back into original aspect ratio. The emulation performance nowadays on these devices is absolutely amazing when it comes to PlayStation 1. And you can see when the more demanding games, I wouldn't say like you can upscale it to higher resolutions, because yeah, let's be honest, like then you're going to need a lot of power from the chip. But in overall performance, it's not bad at all. And it's very cool to see that we finally can like play a PlayStation 1 without any hassle. Especially when you're looking at the beginning of the handheld era. Okay, so next up, let's try some PlayStation Portable. Let's get into the more demanding stuff. So when you need to take considerations, like when you're going to perform some updates, different firmwares, it's highly possible that some games that have issues that will run very well. I also noticed in the settings, they already set the one skip, or better said, one frame skip. And I understand like some games, like a Darius Boost, don't have like a lot of troubles when it comes to emulating. But when you're going to like, so you check out some different games, it's going to be highly possible that you're going to get some lag. So that's the reason why they set it up to 1x resolution. Of course, if you want to mess around with it, you can always press the button over here. You can go to the settings and mess around over here. So if you want to tinker with it to see how far you can push a certain game, you can always do it over here. So that's pretty damn cool. You still have the option if you want to. Alright, so I've been messing around with Nintendo 64, and this is a great example. Like out of the box, the emulation performance is pretty damn messed up. But if you're going to tinker with some different firmwares, it's highly possible some of these games, especially like the launch games like Diddy Kong Racing, will run just fine to enjoy some old school retro gaming. No idea where my button is. Oh, there it is. But almost like, there's a little bit of a bummer, and it happens a lot when it comes to these handhelds. So when you're buying it, especially when you're going to get it out of the box in the beginning, you always need to tinker with it and just mess around with it. Of course, you can also get into the RetroArch menu over here and go like tinkering here just to see if you can get yourself like better performance. But I just wanted to show you what happens sometimes when you're getting it out of the box. But take consideration, even if you're going to get some games running and you're going to mess around and tinker a lot, take consideration that you need to have a lot of power to get these games running, especially when it comes to 100% compatibility within 64. Well, with this new generation of devices, we do get the option to play some Sega Dreamcast. And I think that's pretty damn awesome. Yep, I know, like it's going to be a mixed performance, also depending what kind of emulator you're running, what kind of software you're running. Out of the box, the performance is okay. Dead Alive 2 is just a really demanding game, but when you're going to get some simple games, they will run just fine. So I think it's pretty damn awesome to see how we can bring the Sega Portable fairly easy with a Powkiddy Max II with you. But if you're like a big fan of arcade games like me, and when you want to play some Mortal Kombat, and I think that is just amazing. Like when you're having the cheap handheld, I've reviewed like a gazillion of these things on my channel. When I've noticed when you're getting to get into a device like this, you're going to get better performance, especially when games like this. So far I understand, Killer Instinct, stuff like that will not run. That is not part. You're just going to need a lot of juice inside the machine to get that running. But when you just want to let's say experience some Mortal Kombat 1, 2 and 3, it is possible. Another thing I like about this device is that the D-pad itself is amazing. Ah, crap. What you need to take consideration when you're going to get into the handhelds, it's absolutely a jungle out there. They released so many of these devices out there with different kind of chips. And also like you have so many different kind of firmware, software, and some of these handhelds just need a lot of tinkering. But in the end, what you're going to get out of the box is quite surprisingly good. I really love like the way this thing looks, but the only thing I don't like is the way how it sounds, because I'm missing out basically one speaker. It's such a bummer because the speaker hole is inside the machine, but you cannot really use it. So when you're looking at the way how this thing feels, plays, and how good of the quality of the screen, I'm very satisfied with that. Yeah, let me know in the comments what do you think of the RGB10 Max II. Is this something you would consider picking up? Well, thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become one of the Wicked family, and we'll see you in the next video.